Hello friends, how are you? Welcome back to our channel. In this channel we basically teach about engineering and the applied sciences and various things which you may be enthusiastic about. So basically we are here about applied mechanics, and so in applied mechanics we basically will be talking about all applied mechanical things which is necessary for our engineering and life sciences classes. Applied mechanics is a major part in physics which is taught in the colleges, and in the engineering in various factors. It's used in the structural engineering. So applied sciences will be a boom for everyone. So I think we need to firstly understand the applied mechanics conditions and applied mechanics system for better understanding of this. So basically when we see applied mechanics, it is a branch of mechanics, basically speaking. Now mechanics is basically what? It is a science which describes and predicts the condition of certain of it basically describes and predicts condition of rest or motion of a body under action of force. So basically it describes the condition of a body under rest or motion. That's it. Mechanics is that only. So basically mechanics is vastly divided into three huge topics. Is basically firstly Newtonian mechanics, secondly is it's relativistic mechanics, and third is quantum mechanics. Newtonian mechanics is basically again divided into three major parts. Newtonian mechanics is only called applied mechanics, or even if we say the mechanics of rigid body is said Newtonian mechanics, is said applied mechanics. So basically we need to know that. Before that I would just like to say about what is relativistic mechanics. Relativistic mechanics is the mechanics which Einstein talks about. Everything in this earth we see is relative, and so if we need to study the relative motion or relative things about everything, we turn into the relative mechanics. And the major aspect of this is theory of relativity of Albert Einstein. And moreover, now if we go to the quantum mechanics talks about the quantums, the atoms, the nuclei, and so it is one of the best form of education. But we are mostly enthusiastic about applied mechanics. So applied mechanics basically is a topic under Newtonian mechanics, which further is divided into three different topics: mechanics of rigid body, mechanics of deformable body, and mechanics of fluid, which I will be teaching you differently everything. So basically mechanics of rigid body is further divided into two major parts: statics and dynamics. Statics is a state in which there is no motion, and we need to study that particular condition. And what is dynamics? Dynamics is that condition in which the body is in a motion, and we need to study that particular state of that object. And basically dynamics is divided into two topics, which is kinetics and kinematics, which is a very important topic. I will be explaining all the topics for you, but this episode is just for the preface of the applied mechanics. And if you want to learn the complete applied mechanics, you can go into the playlist of the applied mechanics and learn everything about applied mechanics from our YouTube channel, which is meant to provide quality education all over the world in the English language, which is the universal language presently. So basically mechanics of deformable body means the body which can be deformed, right? The rigid body is antagonistic to the deformable body, which means that it is just opposite of the deformable body, right? So mechanics of fluid, we basically study about the the motion or the state of rest of fluid. So basically we will be also talking about that. So basically what is mechanics? I already discussed that. So basically friends, what is particle? So we need to understand what basically is a particle. A particle is a body which a material body which can be so small that it can be considered negligible. So let me give you an example, a great example. See, for an example, if you say in this universe, our earth can be considered a particle, right? And in our body, that E. coli in our intestine can be said as a particle. For our room, a small ant can be considered as a particle. That its body size is so small, or its mass is so small that we consider it as negligible. right? So that is what is called particle. These concepts needs to be understood at the initial phase, because if you don't understand the meaning between the particle and what actually is mechanics, it will be very hard to understand and to cope further, right? So basically now we talked about what is the rigid body. Rigid body is something, two or more particles which are so interconnected that they cannot change their relative position. If a body does not change its relative position, then it is called the rigid body, and the opposite of it is a deformable body, that it's the relative motion takes place in the deformable body. But what we need to understand, that no body in this universe is a rigid body, right? Because under the action of certain forces we can make all the body deformable, but it is, the ideal condition are always an ideal in our theoretical studies, so we need to keep under consideration the ideal conditions, right? So basically in this chapter, what basic two things are needed, right? What is statics and what is dynamics? We know that a body under rest is statics and dynamics. A body under motion is called dynamics. To understand the basic criteria of the applied mechanics, we need to understand various concepts, and out of which there are four major concepts, and these four major concepts you will be always seeing into this chapter, right? First concept is space, right? The second concept is time. The third concept is mass, and the fourth concept is force, right? And only the five major principles will be working in this whole applied mechanics. The parallelogram of addition of it's law of addition of forces in the vector we learned, right? So it is for the first principle to be learned, and the principle of transmissibility is also the second principle. So the third principle is Newton's first law, the fourth principle is Newton's second law, and the fifth principle is Newton's law of gravity. That's it, friends. If you are acquainted with these concepts and these principles, this applied mechanics will act as a cup of tea for you, and you will score huge, and your understanding will broaden as universe. So basically, friends, I hope you like this video. And if you like this video, I want you to make this video reach up to millions of people, and so that their life would change through our content and their practicality for education. Basically we see the whole world in the Middle East and in Africa. There are a lot of people who are not allowed to go to schools, or they are so poor that they cannot reach schools. So basically our main objective is to bring that school to their home, so that they can have knowledge. And if a person has knowledge, now he can do anything in his life or in his or her life. So basically I think, friends, you are well acquainted with my ideology, so I want you to please share this video and like and subscribe or press the bell icon for further updates. So friends, thank you if you have reached so far in this video. I know you really want to succeed in your life, and you want to make the people succeed nearby you, because humility is the greatest education. So friends, I want you to propagate this video and propagate the importance of education through this video. Thank you, friends.